Solstice, December 21st, 2012. The closer we get to this thing, the more interesting it becomes. I've been watching this, as many of you have, for years, watching this develop. And the shape of this particular pattern of stars in this chart has been striking to me for a while. Initially, I kind of had the feeling that it looked very much kind of like a butterfly in flight. And then slowly some of the significant elements that are part of the chart started to really get my attention. But my wife, Judy, pointed out, because she likes looking at the asteroids, she got my attention there and showed me what else is going on in this chart in particular when we take a look at these other points. And it actually doesn't diminish from the previous pattern. It seems to enhance it. Very interesting. So what we're seeing here is a resonance and alignment among the more obvious constituents of our immediate cosmos. But it seems to me that looking at this pattern, it's important to recognize some of the elements that are going on in the chart and making up the chart. There's a basic starting point, I think, especially for a solstice, where we take a look at what's going on with the sun. During the December solstice, the sun is at 0 degrees Capricorn. And close by with the sun are Pluto, and right in between them, actually right next to the sun, we have Juno, wife of Zeus, wife of Jupiter. And so we can see with this event already there is a very strong energetic undercurrent and an influence of the goddess energy and the resonance of Venus. If we look at what's strongly related to these planets in the chart, it gives us a very interesting place to begin, because we see Saturn is making a sextile, a 60-degree angle to Pluto within just a few minutes of exact. And together, this is a rather striking element of the configuration, because Pluto and Saturn are making a nearly exact finger of God with Jupiter. This particular pattern seems very interesting. We had this exact same pattern in different signs in 1989, and this pattern in the sky correlates with the opening of the Berlin Wall and the Tiananmen Square uprising in China. Now, I didn't find this one myself. I actually did a search. Google search turned up a wonderful article on this by Dark Star Astrology. It talks about also the fact that Jupiter is going to be close to the fixed star Aldebaran at the time that this event occurs. And actually, you can see that on any night surrounding these dates, even months before, because Jupiter has been flying past first the Pleiades and then Taurus, and Aldebaran is the bright star in the Taurus, the eye of the bull. And now, because we are passing Jupiter, we are going past Jupiter. Jupiter appears to be tracking backwards, a retrograde. And Jupiter is actually moving backwards right near Aldebaran now. I like the observation that there's great historical resonance in a positive way with Aldebaran, and that confers a positive leaning for this particular interaction. And because it's two very strong celestial influences, that of Pluto, and I like to think of Pluto these days not just as regular old Pluto, but galactic Pluto, because Pluto's been right near the heart of the galaxy now for a good number of years. It's been crossing across the bright part of the Milky Way near the center. And it's still there, as you can see. So we have galactic Pluto and the solstice sun being sextiled by Saturn. And one of the ways that this speaks to me is that might be the power of the establishment, Saturn. But Saturn is in Scorpio, so it's a deeper power. It's a deeper resonance. There's multiple ways that this can go. This highlights and resonates, brings about an opportunity for the deeper power to renew itself, to re-energize itself. But that's not just like deeper power like secret governments and people who are up to nefarious things. It's also the deeper power that is the true circumstance of all experience. It's the deeper root, connected source energy that brings about the flowering of spring here at the very lowest point of the sun for the northern hemisphere in this moment of stillness. And so what it seems to suggest also is that Pluto and Saturn are working together here to reveal a deeper undercurrent, a deeper foundation that both point to and re-energize with Jupiter in Gemini. So there's an adventure in duality. So the deeper wave, the deeper foundation of celestial energy is pointing to a renewed adventure in duality. Now, Jupiter also has some very interesting companions here right close. So let's take a look at what's with Jupiter. We have Lilith, Vesta, and Ceres, the mother. These all traveling here with Jupiter. So this is an adventure now that we're speaking of, is one that becomes perhaps a more conscious adventure with Shadow of Lilith, the flame keeper of Vesta, and Ceres, the mother. Another thing that's very favorable in this yod is that it says the energy would kind of be focused here upon Jupiter. So it's something that seems to go to our sense of growth, expansion, and also our abundance and how we find our peace and happiness. And another element that's involved here in the interaction is Venus, because Venus is directly, almost exactly, opposite Jupiter at the time of the solstice. And so we have this actually draws the energy more toward Venus. And because Venus is also at the center of the sextile of Saturn and Pluto, it also pulls the energy together, kind of grounds the energy of the sextile of Saturn and Pluto. And so we have this aspiring radiance and beauty that's manifest in our experience. And it would seem that this kind of brings an element of deep beauty and inspiration, especially seeing as Venus is making a very close trine with Uranus. Now, Uranus is actually making a square to the Sun and Pluto. And that's one of the big influences right now, this square between Pluto and Uranus. But Venus, in this instance, is making a trine. So the moment of this experience is one where we have a great potential for a surprising development, a realization of our own true light and brilliance, and of the brilliance that we share together. Uranus would relate not just so much to what we do individually. Our individual expression resonates more with the sun. But Uranus is also about our individuality, our freedom, our ability to express ourselves and liberate ourselves. But it's also about how we really shine together. And so going back to the arrangement of Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter, this seems again to kind of bring out through the involvement of Venus and ultimately Uranus. This seems to connect with not only a shifting of our adventure, but an availability to another level, a deeper level, our own existence and brilliance. Certainly a deeper aspect of that in how we are all together, how we are all existing together. So Uranus, when we talk about Uranus, that brings in the connection with the moon. And we can see the moon here is roughly making, like Uranus, is roughly making a trine with Venus. So that certainly adds a bit to the mood there as well. And the moon and Mercury actually have an exact trine going. So we kind of have two pair of planets here working together. We have the moon in Uranus, which also brings a mood for freedom and discovery. And we have Venus and Mercury together. So that moon with Mercury kind of brings suggests to me a facility for expression, a facility for bringing forth and communicating the felt sense of what's going on in our surroundings. So it's a good time to be able to celebrate our attentiveness to where we have arrived. Now, one other important relationship here is with Ceres, up there near Jupiter. There's also a tight relationship in this event with Mars. So Mars and Ceres are actually 150 degrees apart. Mars, the planet of desire, choice, action, and also Mars, the god of war. How is Mars resonating with the energy of Ceres, the mother? Ceres is also resonant, I believe, with harvest. So one way to say it is like looking at our mother, our earth. What is our relationship through our actions? What is the harvest of our activity? And I think, especially for this event, we're not really talking just about our immediate actions, although our immediate actions are relevant, but how is the long scope of our actions, our general trajectory through our experience, with the presence, with the condition, with the state of our mother. And then with Saturn, we have a very nice trine, both with Neptune. It's a little bit weak trine with Neptune, but it's there. And with Chiron. Neptune and Chiron have been moving close together for the last several years. And it seems to me that their conjunction is revealing something to us of the deeper qualities of our intent, a deeper sense of purpose. Now, sometimes that's driven by something Chiron is associated with, which is pain or woundedness. But pain and woundedness and trauma is not the only thing that impacts us from deep, deep in our life's foundation, our trajectory. What else is there in the way that we translate our real purpose from our interaction with the ocean of consciousness? So these two being together for these last few years have kind of give us a sense of that. And now we have Saturn trining both Neptune and Chiron. I think that there's a lot more to explore in this, but if we just take the other asteroids and put them in place, we see here a relationship with Mars. And with the nodes, we see the North Node also in a relationship with Mars. So we have a sextile with the head of the dragon, and we have a trine with the tail of the dragon. So to me, that seems like it's favorable for recognizing the benefits of past actions and seeing a new trend, taking action in line with a new trend, or riding the wave, allowing your past experience to give you insight necessary, preparation necessary to be able to move with the new wave. So we also have the asteroid Isis at 0 degrees Virgo in opposition with Neptune at 0 degrees Pisces. And what's striking here is the mythology of Isis. She's a goddess of motherhood, magic, and fertility. She's a protector. And she's someone who brings together. She has this unifying energy, guarding and bringing together the pieces, disparate pieces of things into the whole. She has a unifying presence because she also connects all these other expressions of the goddess, so all these other asteroids. So she ties things together, and she's in opposition with Neptune. She kind of is drawing the whole formation, or as we kind of see in this depiction, the butterfly is in flight, reaching out for Isis before her. I love that image, and I love how all those different aspects then are tied together, and the significance of Venus in this chart, and then how Jupiter is also with a bunch of asteroids, 3 asteroids there that all relate to aspects of the goddess. So perhaps the most important thing I would say about this is that we all are in the midst of this experience, and there's a lot of different stories and images that will present themselves in this time and in the times coming soon. And it seems to me there's something very liberating and empowering about simply being able to pay attention to exactly what's going on. What comes to me here is that experience is a doorway, and attentiveness is the key in that doorway. Attentiveness is the key in the doorway of experience. And so, for this event, as for any other day, any other significant event, any moment where we do bring our attention is a significant moment. And so, my intent here is to bring my attention to what's going on. And I feel blessed to be able to share that with you. I feel very fortunate to be able to see this formation in this way and share that with you. So I want to encourage you to get your own sense of it, open up your attention, and see what your experience shows you. Solstice blessings for you and for us all. Thank you.